Yes, sir. We back with another episode on Higher Vultures. I got my boy in the building. What's good? DJ Bobby, what's good?
Hey, what's going on, Dollah?
Yeah, I heard you know what's the word. We in the building, man. Today we're going to be talking about principles and morals and, you know, certain standards that you might have grew up living by. You know what I'm saying? So I want to ask you, Bobby, like, what's certain morals or principles that you can remember that you was raised up, like, kind of taught, and, like, some that you still probably taught yourself or instill in other people in these days?
A good one, a good moral was to always treat people how you want them to treat you.
Right.
You know, my grandmother always told me, she was like, you know, people may not like you, but they're going to respect your manners.
Right.
You know, so kind of treat them how you would want to be treated.
That's a fact.
You know, so I kind of looked at myself like, you know what, let me just try this, let me reflect on myself, because, you know, sometimes it's us that are the problem, you know, and people aren't willing to look at their reflection.
Right.
So I just looked at my reflection and I carried that moral and, you know, I put it into my life. So,
yeah,
you know, definitely that.
I think too, with morals and principles, it's like breaking down other words like respect or compassion, grace.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a lot of other things. Patience, where back in the days you might not have patience for a certain situation or a certain person, but the older you get and as time go on, you have more patience for this person or something. Right. So I also think it's just like for different people though, because certain people might overcome confidence or fear where they don't have confidence or they battling something else. But for the most part, I think for me, it's just like so much like good words that break down out of morals and principles like respect, loyalty, grace, empathy, you know, these things where it's like a lot of people tend to look over them, but it's really a part of humane, like society, like as humans, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you know, that's one thing that I can honestly say. And it's just like those sayings too, how you brung up treat people how you want to be treated.
Right.
It's so many of those sayings,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, to where you could tell a person, you know, practice make perfect, or kill two birds with one stone, and you could just keep going, you know what I'm saying. But what's some other things that you think like that you stand for, as in moral wise or principle wise?
I try to be honest as much as possible.
Right.
You know, even if it hurts the other person, I'd rather be honest, because you know what? There's no games with me. You know, like there shouldn't be any games at all, especially if it's somebody that you consider a friend, or somebody you care about,
or you love for real.
Yeah, you love. You know, you're supposed to protect what you love.
Right.
You're not supposed to damage what you love. You know,
right.
We all human. However, you know, I try to protect, you know, so I definitely can say that.
Yeah, that's real.
Say that.
So do you think that come with a state of mind frame to learn how to love yourself first too? Because it's like some people who don't care about themselves or care about what they doing with themselves, it's kind of hard for you to care about somebody else if you don't care about yourself too. So it kind of self-reflecting thing, because usually sometimes people who don't like themselves or doubt themselves or hate on themselves, they do it to other people. And usually people who think good about themselves or think righteous or think positive, they tend to give other people the benefit of the doubt and give them a chance to prove that they're positive or a good person or got great things going on with their life. Whereas to somebody who in doubt or stress or problematic and not in a good space in life, they gonna tend to put it on you and you know, don't care if you doing good. And if you is doing good and they can't shadow it, they gonna hate on it. Oh, he only doing this because, oh, that's just luck. You know, some people can't accept the fact that you're doing good because it make them see how bad they're doing. You know what I mean?
It's a reflection of them.
Right.
And they're not willing to accept that. Until they're willing to accept that, they're gonna continue to suffer the same vicious cycle.
Right.
You know, and it all goes back to the origin of you. Right. You know, so it's like, all right, treat the world how you want to be treated, you know. We all know what it is. You know, people are people, you know. But at the same time, if you can catch yourself and say, all right, here, I just saw it. Let me not do this. Let me try something else. It's okay. It don't make you weak. It don't make you weak.
Right.
It don't make you weak to be nice or to do something good. You don't got to be nice you can do something good and not be nice.
Right.
You know, you can be like, I'll do it for you and help the person, you know, and scream at them. It's like, damn, he was mean, but he helped me.
Right.
And he's still a good person. You know, he's just not a really nice person. So, you know, a lot of choices.
And speaking on principles before we switch topics, loyalty and respect. It's like they kind of go hand in hand sometimes, but at sometimes, you know, you probably prefer loyalty because, you know, somebody is gonna not change on you and stay the same and stick with you and hold it down. Mm-hmm. Or sometimes you could choose respect because if somebody respect you, they also still gonna know not to play with you and cross you or backstab you, you know, backdoor energy, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like the yin and yang. Which one would you prefer, loyalty or respect?
That's a good question, Dollar.
Take a shot. What a joint. Higher voltage.
How about this? What you think is the better one?
Honestly, like I said, if I think this goes according to the person who you're dealing with, mm-hmm. each one by one. But if I just had to pick and not be, you know, being specific, if I had to pick, I think I'd pick respect. Because I feel like what I just said a while ago, I think they go hand in hand, but I feel like you could still be portrayed within loyalty even though the whole thing was being loyal. I feel like if somebody respect you, even though they might not be loyal, it's a certain level of respect that the boundaries won't get crossed, meaning to where I could be loyal today and wake up tomorrow and not be loyal and I still don't respect you. So it's certain boundaries that I'm going to cross and I ain't going to know that I'm playing around with fire. Like I'm playing too much and you know you finna take it to another level and you thinking that it's mediocre. So that's one thing I think. That's why I prefer respect, because it's like if somebody respect you, they gonna know enough not to play with you like that. And it's like it might be you might feel tried, but at the same token, it's just like, you know, I feel tried, but it ain't crossed no boundaries. Yeah. Whereas to, you know, with respect, you know, people know they try not to step on your toes, you know what I'm saying? And with loyalty, it can't expire. Just like with love, somebody can love you today and wake up tomorrow and just be like, hey, I really don't love you as much as I once did, or did, period. You know what I'm saying? So I pick respect. What you think?
I probably pick loyalty.
Right.
I probably pick loyalty because I look at it as if they're loyal to me, they're loyal to me.
Right.
So that means that they never gonna cross me. That's how I would look at it. Like, they never gonna cross me. These guys are loyal to me. Like, I don't even have to question it at all. They may not respect me, but those niggas is loyal to me. So, excuse my French, but, you know, they're loyal to me. So they may not, because, you know, it's like that. You know, you may have a unit of people and one person may not like another person, and it's just, he may not like his personality or whatever, you know, but if we can show another side of something and show it, then hey, why not?
Right.
You know? So I definitely go with loyalty.
Yeah.
I had to hit it with loyalty.
And that's why I agreed in the beginning before you even gave your answer, because they kind of similar. They share some of the same dynamics, but it's like you could be loyal to somebody and then you still can kind of like respect them to a degree, but if you fully respect them, it's going to be a certain loyalness too, because it's like you don't want to try them or cross no boundaries to make them feel away. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like they kind of real close.
Yeah, it's a thin line.
Yeah, it's a thin line.
Like with love and hate, you know, it's a thin line between that, because it's like, oh, she likes me, but she likes to hurt me, you know? Right. So it's like, why does she do that? Because she's hurt. Right. You know, but she loves you. You know, it's a very thin line between that.
Speaking on sayings, because you started off with the saying saying, you know, treat people how you want to be treated. Mm-hmm. I was also thinking about the other saying too. I just went brain freeze.
Do the robot until you get it right.
What it was? Is it? I wanted to say maybe is you can't love nobody until you love yourself. Something in that vein, but I'm not sure if that's the one. But we're gonna keep it going. But basically, I can still use that one because that's the saying. you can't love nobody else until you love yourself. So, you know, sometimes when people are battling certain things and they hurt, it's kind of hard for them to really love on you. And I just remember what I was going to say. What I was going to say was, it's true for two things to be true at the same time without one of them being fully wrong. Meaning, you can be hurt at the same time and you can still try your best to love, even though sometimes it's mixed signals and things like that. Two things can be right at the same time.
I'm glad you explained that, because like it was a lot to put together.
Right.
Wow.
And the fact that I forgot even throw me and you and the viewers for a loop. Like,
I knew you had it in you, so I wasn't even worried about it. But then when you said it to me, I was like, hold on, 1, 2, 3. I was like, I hope he explains it to me. He explained it to me.
But I think I forgot just to say the other saying first, because they go hand in hand.
Right.
You can't love somebody else until you love yourself. And it's true that two things can be right at the same time, which means that you could be hurt dealing with trauma or depression or PTSD and still be in a space where you're having grace, humility, compassion, empathy, all of some of the things I mentioned earlier within the morals and principles to be able to show love in the midst of hurt. So two things can be right at the same time.
I agree with that. I can agree with that.
Right.
I can definitely agree with that.
Right.
You gotta look at it, you know, because there's always a cause and effect going on. You know, and one person may feel one certain way, another person may feel another way, but they all go and agree. Right. They're on the same team, you know? Right. And that's the other thin line about it, you know? Like, relationships are like give and takes, you know? Like, life is pretty much like give and take, you know? So...
Well, they say life be lifing, homie.
Yeah, life be lifing. Man, lifing.
Life be lifing.
Yeah.
Man. But it's a beautiful thing. Blessings keep coming. I feel like, you know, sometimes... we doubt ourselves, or we be overwhelming ourselves with too much, and it's like, you know, I think that's human, because, you know, you're living it, so it's like you putting pressure on yourself to be better or to do more, but at the same time you got to give yourself grace too, because it's like back to the same thing. If you can't love yourself, how could you love someone else? If you can't give yourself grace, how would you have the patience and the compassion to even give someone else grace? So I do feel like, you know, being self-aware play a big part in even being in that space where you can acknowledge morals and principles and all of the things that it kind of breaks into a spider web of their own legs and arms, and all of them tying together as some way or some shape and form. You know what I'm saying? If you're working on yourself as a human and as a better person, you start acknowledging all of those different things, like, you know what I'm saying, loyalty, respect, compassion, empathy, you know, choices, you know what I'm saying, picking the type of people who you want to associate yourself with, you know what I'm saying? All of these things play a big part, you know what I'm saying? How do you feel about the community and just like people being social in person? Because, you know, we have all of the social media now, and a lot of people walking around with their head down in their phone or their iPad. And, you know, you could be right around people and people are still in a different world because of social media. And it's like less social communication in the community, but it's more social connecting, following back on social media. Yeah. So how do you feel about that?
One, I like social media. I like social media for the fact that, you know, people could connect with their families on a daily basis.
Right.
People can create content,
right,
you know, and set off, you know, a lot of positive influence, you know, or something that others can relate to that may help benefit, you know. Everybody has their own thing, you know. I like it. I don't have an issue.
Right.
But the thing is, it would seem as if society is completely consumed within social media.
It is.
Everywhere you go. I truly believe people do not live in reality.
Right.
They live on social media and do not take time for peace, because you have to take yourself out. It's like they think just because we're on doing something, you know, like this is what we have to have a life. We have to make time for our lives, because there's so much stuff going on. We have to balance everything out. We have the editing, you know what we go through.
I feel like a lot of people in a timeline where they're in social media and they bring reality into their social media. Yeah, whereas to you in reality bringing social media into your real life. Yeah. It's vice versa.
Yeah, I mean, there's and some people, like, I hate to say it, but some people just don't have any talent at all in what they're doing.
Not even expressing, being themselves.
Yeah. Like, it's like, all right, cool, I get it, it was fun, but maybe that's not for you. Everybody has something, through life. Hopefully you'll find that. Right. But there are so many people that are, like, putting themselves out there, and it's just like, come on, man. Like, you have to at least make time for your life. Like, this is all you do? You don't plan. What about your future? A lot of people don't think about their future. They just like the bag.
Today, yeah.
Yeah, today, exactly. That's my whole point. Today, not their future. It's great. You want to live in a moment. There's nothing wrong with that when you're younger.
Right.
Because when you start to get older and you start having more responsibilities.
And time passing you by, you ain't making no progress.
Yeah. And people know you as a certain thing.
Right.
As long as you doing whatever you're doing, make sure you understand what's coming with it.
Right.
Because a lot of people don't understand what's coming with it, and when that train come and hit their ass, that's when they're like, oh, what happened? What do you mean what happened? They tried to tell you, I don't knock nobody. You do what you do. I've done things before in my life, I may not have been proud of. However, I understood, like, all right, there's a point in my life where you have to grow as a person. You cannot be stagnant. You can't vegetate in life because you're not going to grow. You're just going to sit there.
Right.
And we know these people because it's the same person from when we was younger doing the exact same thing.
No progression. Or ambition to even try to even see if you're good at something or capable of starting a business and become an entrepreneur.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, if you're happy with that, great, awesome. However, maybe I enjoy a little bit more in life, or maybe I enjoy doing this. I enjoy being an entertainer. I enjoy motivating people. I enjoy talking to other individuals.
Right.
That's what I enjoy to do.
Right.
Some individuals are comfortable with what they're doing. As long as you're happy in life and you're not harming nobody, great. But at the same time, at least try to read a book, because your brain is going to shrink.
Right.
You're going to shrink as a person. You're going to get old. Somebody is going to have to help you one day.
Right.
So the people that you're treating right now, good or bad, is going to be around when you get older.
Right.
Some of them will, some of them won't.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like what you're doing right now is always going to affect.
Right.
And it doesn't make you weak to be smart. That's something that people fail to realize. You don't have to be... It's a very powerful thing to be smart. It's very strong to be smart. They think, oh, well, I don't need to read a book. Okay, cool. Try something else. Exercise. Get up in the morning. Learn a new craft.
Right.
So that you can teach somebody else something. You teach your people.
Right.
Teach your people something so your tribe can actually blossom and grow.
And they can be there for you, too. If you happen to have some down moments, the people that you help build up, they could be there to crutch you and help you get back on your feet. And I wanted to touch on something else you said as well, too. The same people that you see when you're up, when you falling off and you coming down, those the same people face that you got to see again. So you got to be mindful of how you treat people and how you deal with people, because you might be up and you want to deal with people a certain kind of way. And then when you turn back around, you going down, and them people right there witnessing your downfall, and it's kind of like, damn, I should have had more respect or a better attitude or treated people better, even if it's not involved with giving or receiving, just your attitude with your personality, how you deal with people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So most definitely you got to work on your personality sometimes, because, us as humans, we just in our own world, and everybody just worry about themselves, going about their day, doing their own thing. But for the most part, I feel like it's good for the community to socialize sometimes still, even though this world could be negative and it's like, I ain't friendly, I ain't finna be talking to nobody, fool. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you gotta snap out of that sometimes too and really be in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Sometimes going about your day not speaking to no one is kind of putting you off in a box. And sometimes you need to be open-minded and be of one with the world and the rest of the humans and people in the community that you sharing this space with.
Absolutely.
So Most definitely, that's real right there. That's real right there, man. So all the viewers out there, make sure y'all pay attention, man. The same people that you see when you up might be the same people that you see when you coming down. So you want to deal with people with a certain amount of respect and a decent attitude, and just be yourself, man. So how important is it for like people to get comfortable with being like in their own skin and like expressing themselves and just like being more comfortable with who they are or who you are, you know what I'm saying?
How long or?
Period, just getting more comfortable in your own skin as the day go by, like certain practices that you can practice to get better or just any statements that, period, just.
Well, for me, the first step to anything is denial.
Right.
You admit. Because people be in denial all the time. It's like,
right.
It's like, nah, when you admit and you stop shaming yourself and you come out and you're like, listen, it's time for me to express myself. I have to speak this out. I've been hiding for so long because I just didn't know how to deal with it. You face it. We had a discussion before. It was like, you never really get over anything. You just figure out how to deal with it. Because if it didn't bother you at all, it wouldn't have never bothered you.
Right.
You just figured out a way how to deal with it so it didn't bother you anymore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you learn how to deal with it, whether it took like 20, 30, 40,000 years, it's the exact same thing. You just have to learn how to control yourself.
Right.
Your emotions and accept what you've done. Accept what's happened to you. And you have to move forward because nobody is coming to save you.
Yeah.
And that's something that I had to realize as a person, as a grown man. Like, I had to realize that, like, nobody's coming to save me. Even though I knew that already, I really had to realize that, like, listen, like, it's going to get bad. And it's been bad before, But I'm like, ain't nobody coming to save me, so I always knew I have to survive on my own.
Right. You got to be accountable for your own actions. You got to be responsible for your own human being self.
Yeah.
And you just got to be practicing being more self-sufficient because we talked about that on the last show before. I think whenever you depend on people, you put yourself in a bad space because basically your happiness or your wants or needs will be based upon somebody else, and if they don't do it or can't do it or don't want to do it, now already you're in a bad space because you're not self-sufficient enough to do for yourself.
Right.
But for the most part, moving along, we're going to get into I got habits versus lifestyle segment. And right now, I just wanted to set it off right now. Diamonds or gold? Which one? Diamonds versus gold. Which one is best? Which one you choosing? Diamonds versus gold.
I'm gonna go with gold because you're gonna need some type of metal or something to put the diamonds on, and gold it just holds and weight.
Most true,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, forever. Even though diamonds are forever, gold is already like.
I think I would go with gold too because in value wise, the weight is more realer. It's not like they take a bunch of diamonds and really weigh them for real. They might do it for a count.
Right.
To say this is assuming how many diamonds this is from the weight amount.
Correct.
But they don't use it by weight. They use it by carat.
Right.
So with gold, I like gold more because the value is there so high, and it's like you could weigh the grams, and it's like, all right, this is a 160 gram chain or such and such and such.
And not only that, but if you can make things out of gold and use it, for like so much like a conductor, like there's so much more things, you could use a diamond to cut certain stuff too, there's so many other things to use than just for what we think it is.
Wear it for jewelry.
Exactly, but I would probably without a doubt go with gold, gold would probably stretch a little bit longer for me than the diamonds would, So, yeah, definitely.
And let's take it to sports real quick, man. It was kind of spontaneous that we had a conversation earlier and we got around somebody else and he spoke of the same topic without being even around us earlier. So we're going to dive right into it. NFL quarterbacks, black quarterbacks. You got Michael Vick, Donovan McNabb, and you got Steve McNair.
Yes, sir.
So right now, we usually do two, but we just wanted to throw Steve McNair in there. But Michael Vick versus Donovan McNabb, who you going with? Donovan McNabb or Michael Vick.
And make sure you guys leave a comment in the comment section.
Yeah. Let them know who you picking. McNabb?
Yeah.
He had a good run. You don't got to say it like that. He had a good run. I'm definitely going to go with Michael Vick because I was just really impressed about how good he can run the ball as a quarterback and how he wasn't afraid to run it and throw a speed pass to people. And he made a lot of great plays. So I feel like Michael Vick put more in the destiny of his own hand. But don't get it twisted. Donovan McNabb did the same thing too. It's just Michael Vick had a chance to shine better with his teammates and the players that he worked with.
Yeah.
He had a good team. So it was able to make you see his talent in a better light. Donovan McNabb had great players too. I remember he had number 88. He had a few good heavy hitters too, I remember. But Philadelphia Eagles didn't really move as good as the Falcons when they had their run with Michael Vick. So I choose Michael Vick. And shout out to Steve McNair, Tennessee Titans. He did good as well. All the black quarterbacks, you already know, holding it down in the NFL.
You gotta give him love.
Last one, habits versus lifestyle. Porsche or Lamborghini?
I'm gonna go with Porsche.
Right.
I'm gonna go with Porsche. Even though Lamborghini's a mean car.
Right.
And shout out to, you know who you are, Prestige Lamborghini.
Right.
I'm gonna definitely have to go with the Porsche.
Yeah.
I'm definitely have to go with the Porsche.
Right.
Because the Porsche is just, when you're bending corners on it, like it's just so smooth, you know, and like, yeah, the Lamborghinis are great and they fast and you know they look amazing, but that Porsche is just like they're gunners. They just go. Them cars go.
See me, I'm tall, so I would have reasons to pick more of an SUV Porsche. But it's just something about that two-door Lambo speeding and them pipes growling and farting, and it's just a whole toy. It's more than a car.
No, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like on a regular day basis, for the luxury, of course, I'll pick a Porsche. But my answer to this question would be Lamborghini, just because how fascinating it's deeper than a car. It turns into a whole toy and other things besides the car, where Porsche is like a luxury car. It's still a car. It's not like it's trying to be sports. It's not like they trying to lift up the doors, butterflies. It's not like it's trying to do so much stuff that, you know, the Lambos do. So, you know, those both are great answers though. If you swerving in a Porsche or a Lambo, you're doing good, man. Thank you guys for watching. This is Higher Voltage Podcast. I'm in the building, Dollah Bill 305, your host. And I got my co-host in here, DJ Bobby. And we just holding it down on a higher frequency, higher voltage. Thank you for chopping it up with me again, brother, man. We're going to keep on going, collaborating, bringing y'all a bigger picture. Y'all stay tuned and be sure to look at all the other episodes and videos of all the other interviews. Stay tuned. Keep watching. Like, subscribe, and comment.
Higher Voltage.
So everybody want to know, what is Higher Voltage? Well, it's a platform. We're here to offer services for every upcoming business, every music label, every business, every artist, rapper, singer. Even if you have a product or a merchandise, that's what we're here for. So people want to know why I started it. It's a voice for upcoming businesses. Y'all come tap in. So right now I need all of my Voltage fam to go subscribe to Higher Voltage TV. It's the Higher Voltage Podcast. We here to give you plenty episodes and plenty shows. Y'all like, subscribe, and comment. Dollah Bill 305, Higher Voltage. Let's go.
Higher